I'm sorry, but I don't want to be an emperor. That's not my business. I don't want to rule or conquer anyone. I should like to help everyone if possible. Jew, Gentile, black man, white. We all want to help one another. Human beings are like that. We want to live by each other's happiness, not by each other's misery. We don't want to hate and despise one another. In this world, there's room for everyone, and the good earth is rich and can provide for everyone. The way of life can be free and beautiful, but we have lost the way. Greed has poisoned men's souls, has barricaded the world with hate, has goose-stepped us into misery and bloodshed. We have developed speed, but we have shut ourselves in. Machinery that gives abundance has left us in want. Our knowledge has made us cynical, our cleverness hard and unkind. We think too much and feel too little. More than machinery, we need humanity. More than cleverness, we need kindness and gentleness. Without these qualities, life will be violent, and all will be lost. The aeroplane and the radio have brought us closer together. The very nature of these inventions cries out for the goodness in men, cries out for universal brotherhood, for the unity of us all. Even now, my voice is reaching millions throughout the world. Millions of despairing men, women, and children, victims of a system that makes men torture and imprison innocent people. To those who can hear me, I say, do not despair. The misery that is now upon us is but the passing of greed, the bitterness of men who fear the way of human progress. The hate of men will pass, and dictators die, and the power they took from the people will return to the people. And so long as men die, liberty will never perish. Soldiers, don't give yourselves to brutes. Men who despise you, enslave you, who regiment your lives, tell you what to do, what to think, and what to feel, who drill you, diet you, treat you like cattle, use you as cannon fodder. Don't give yourselves to these unnatural men, machine men with machine minds and machine hearts. You are not machines, you are not cattle, you are men. You have the love of humanity in your hearts. You don't hate, only the unloved hate, the unloved and the unnatural. Soldiers, don't fight for slavery, fight for liberty. In the 17th chapter of St. Luke it is written, the kingdom of God is within man, not one man nor a group of men, but in all men, in you. You, the people, have the power to create machines, the power to create happiness. You, the people, have the power to make this life free and beautiful, to make this life a wonderful adventure. Then in the name of democracy, let us use that power. Let us all unite. Let us fight for a new world, a decent world, that will give men a chance to work, that will give youth a future and old age a security. By the promise of these things, brutes have risen to power, but they lie. They do not fulfill that promise. They never will. Dictators free themselves, but they enslave the people. Now let us fight to fulfill that promise. Let us fight to free the world, to do away with national barriers, to do away with greed, with hate and intolerance. Let us fight for a world of reason, a world where science and progress will lead to all men's happiness. Soldiers, in the name of democracy, let us all unite!
Sweet baby Buddha, if you don't get excited after listening to that speech, I don't know why you're here on this plane of existence. Wow. That speech was given 76 years ago. Charlie Chaplin, starring in the movie The Great Dictator. Alright everybody, on today's podcast we are joined by the one, the only, the lovely, the talented, the creative force known as Sarah McAllister. That's right, she's back everybody, and of course, it is myself, Sean. Let's get it on Evans! And old Cotton Gin, that's right, Matt Whitney. My co-host, my cohort, my buddy, my pal, and yours. So please enjoy the podcast.
Cabin fever.
You gonna change your,
That, Circus Survive and Coheed and Cambria and some other fools are going to be at the observatory in Santa Ana tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, they just saw
Saves
the
the
camera
day.
San
in.
Diego.
Yeah.
Saves the day's opening.
What?
Yeah.
And Portugal the Man, I think, or maybe just Portugal.
Oh, really? Wow.
I don't know.
That's
It's a bunch
cool.
of those. It's a bunch of those bands, and I was like, shit, I would love to go to that.
Oh,
but
hell yeah.
I have working.
Working. Oh, it's right here.
I gotta make the money.
Shortening.
Spend the money.
I saw Coheed once.
I saw him at Soma.
I saw him at Soma and I saw him at Warped Tour.
Still
Okay.
haven't seen them.
They were alright.
I've been
When I
supposed
saw
to go twice.
so
and haven't.
good live.
They're okay? Just okay?
Just, they've never been my cup of tea.
Yeah.
That's all.
Understandable.
I like
Loved
Second
it.
Stage Turbine Blade. Remember that album? Welcome Home.
Now back in the ground, you choked off the shore, it's no favor. But if you really loved me, you would have endured my wrath.
Yeah,
That's a
welcome
good jam.
home. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
We going? Are we live? Are we cooking?
Yeah.
Cooking with gas?
Cooking with coals.
Yeah, cooking with coals.
This should be our spin-off.
That should be the hookah.
podcast.
Yeah,
Hookah.
yeah.
Cooking with coals.
Nothing but hookah.
Don't say anything unrelated to hookah, or I'll mute you.
I wonder, like, what the new generation is with hookah. Like, because when we...
Yeah, it was a
I
little
don't know, it was
taboo,
like
I
right
guess.
after high school, like, hookah was like this big thing. Like, oh,
Yeah.
go to the hookah lounge, smoke hookah. You don't need to be 21 or whatever. You can be 18, go in there, smoke some hookah. Because I was never like a smoker of cigarettes or anything like that. And I always like thought of hookah as being the healthier version to smoke, even though it's
It's
not
not at
really.
all.
It's completely tobacco soaked in like sweet molasses goodness, but
I don't.
it's still
yeah.
fun. It's definitely. I hope it's better than smoking a pack of cigarettes.
It seemed like it was a little taboo.
Oh,
Was
absolutely.
that your guys' thing too?
Yeah, for sure.
I think, like, in tobacco in general was.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, especially our generation, just like that whole, what was Truth campaign, or it was always on MTV, it was like always showing pictures of like disgusting
yeah.
lungs and people with, with the, I've been smoking, you know, those things.
That was like a pretty heavy PSA.
Oh,
around
yeah.
I mean,
a while there.
It definitely helped.
I
Like,
remember
yeah.
it. It's ingrained
discouraged
in
me
my
from wanting to smoke.
ingrained
Yeah.
in my brain.
As a kid too, you're like, never.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're stupid.
Until
That's
you,
how I-
until you get to the bar and you're smoking, and then you're like, oh, yeah, I'll take a cigarette. Yeah, why not? When you're standing outside and you've had a couple of beers or drinks, and it's not that bad.
I
Every once in a
remember-
while.
Yeah.
I didn't smoke a cigarette until, seriously, I was like 23. And I just reached over, or maybe 21 or 22, I don't know. I just reached over and we were drunk and I just grabbed, like, Holly's and just poofed on it and then gave it back to her and she just looked at me like I was an alien. Like, who the fuck are you? I was like, I just wanted to do that.
Yeah.
And then, like, I would smoke, like, periodically when I got drunk, just once, like, a year or something
Yeah.
like that.
That was my MO too.
Yeah, and then finally, like, the last one I smoked was, like, in the middle of it, like, why am I doing this? Like, this is so gross. Like, it smells so gross. Makes me feel like shit. And so I haven't smoked one since.
Yeah. I think my last cigarette was probably a clove cigarette when I was living in Mira Mesa at Lipscomb.
Oh,
Chris
yeah.
and I bought these, I think they're called Blacks or something like that. They're clove cigarettes, and it's like...
Black and Miles?
Yeah, Black and
Okay,
Miles,
Black
that's
and
it.
Miles,
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And, we bought a pack of that. We would be all cool, like, smoking in the backyard with our clove cigarettes. It's so, like, pretty retarded, like, when you think back and, like, oh, we were so silly. But, yeah, good times, good
That
memories.
you're cool.
Yeah.
That's all that matters.
Yeah.
Oh,
that
yeah.
was a nice uncle.
You just got your all up on my
Uncle
beard.
Matt.
Nice
Uncle
work.
Matt. I have an Uncle Matt, so that I couldn't
Oh,
say
that's
it.
right.
I couldn't spit it out.
It's
It's,
Unky
Yeah.
Matt.
Uncle Wit.
Oh, that's a good one, yeah.
DJ Whitnick, sir.
DJ
DJ name.
DJ Uncle Wit.
I like it.
DJ. Uncle Whip, it's your bedtime yet? We just started.
all of the totems that people pop up are just pictures. That picture that you just showed me of your niece with like the headphones on,
The
the
baby
baby
with
with
headphones
headphones on.
Yeah.
Uncle Matt.
Oh, speaking of totems, I came up with a good one for maybe EDC next year.
Yeah.
And it's well, me and my girlfriend kind of collaborated on it, but because I had to explain to her that Skrillex used to sing from first to last. Remember?
Yeah.
That post-hardcore band.
Yeah.
And
That's really how I know him.
Yeah, I know.
That band.
It's so
And I'm like,
weird.
wow, you're like a really popular DJ making millions now compared to what you were in a kick-ass screamo band back in the day.
Yeah, so I
Gotta
googled
evolve,
pictures from that era or whatever, and he's like got like makeup on and his hair's all seamed out, like that. And so the totem we were gonna make is like a picture of him then and a picture of him now, and on the left it says first day of EDC, or no, the picture of him now is first day of EDC, and then the other one last day, because it was all.
That's perfect.
You have to see it. It really it captures that, but.
Oh, and Sarah has an experience with Skrillex, so listen back to one of the old podcasts with Sarah on it.
Yeah.
You could hear the entire story. Her epic birthday Vegas vacation, or just vacation, I guess.
Birthday
Sperm of the
Vegas
moment.
Sperm of the moment, yeah.
Sperm of the moment.
Sperm of the moment. No sperm was exchanged, though. Just for the record. Let the record show.
Let the
that
record
only
show.
Fireball was exchanged.
That's good. Stay for that.
And
Yes.
and
Yeah.
great memories, long lasting. Some pretty good eye contact, although I think we were both drunk.
So it might have
Well,
been
good.
like very blurry. Two people might have been kind of.
Plus, he has glasses.
Oh,
Yeah,
right,
right.
right.
Who knows where he
there's
is.
like
Eyes.
four, yeah.
There's a hell of a lot of eye contact.
Anyways, it felt real on my end.
That's really all that matters, really, right?
It's all that
It's
I'm
all
taking with
perspective.
me when I go to the
Yeah.
grave.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
We should talk, I don't know what you had planned maybe, but we should
Oh.
quickly say what was the best concert you've been to.
Ooh, okay.
Or
I know. I've got mine.
concert experience.
I've got mine. Should we let the lady go first, or Matt, since you brought it up? She's
wow.
pointing at you.
I have so many.
You go. I want to try and blow an O-ring.
Well, I mean, I guess it could be any kind of experience, but a couple years ago, I had tickets to see Say Anything.
I watch you, wanna do you right where you're standing. Yeah, right on the foyer, on this dark day, right in plain view. Oh, yeah.
One day, and then I had tickets to see Every Time I Die.
At the bottom of the first drink, I found my nerve. At the bottom of the next one, I met my girl. At the bottom of the third drink.
Next day, so it was 2 days of like craziness,
Back
you know?
to back,
Yeah,
yeah.
and on
Every
the
time I say anything.
the Dream collab.
You still got it,
Such
everybody.
a dad joke. So embarrassed.
Edit, delete.
No, that's staying in.
No,
I make
I'm
those
gonna
jokes all
turn
the
the
time
volume
now.
up on it and edit.
I made those jokes before I was at home.
Practice. It's the lead up.
Anyway, with the Every Time I Die show, my friend and I, we went to a brewery that was right down the street, and we were
Where
like
was the show at?
at Soma,
Oh.
down in San Diego. So the Modern Times Brewery is like right down the street.
yeah.
And then we drank. We were like, oh, we'll have a couple beers, and then we'll go like catch some of the opening bands, whatever. Well, it didn't happen. We just like kept drinking and drinking, and then finally we're like, we gotta go. Like they're coming on. So we stumbled down to Soma, and this isn't a great story, but
It's too
I'm into it. I'm into
We've
it.
already started. We're in.
it was we were just trash, and I'm like walking down to Soma, and I was like, hold on real quick, and I like did the whole throw up in the bushes like before we go in, and we got in like right as they're going on, and I like went right to the pit and just like had a fantastic time. This will remind me of like your mosh story, like you don't really get hurt. At one point the guitarist
Oh,
jumped.
especially when you're drunk.
Yeah, exactly. He jumped into the crowd, and his guitar hit me in the head, and
Ooh.
it didn't even phase me. I was like,
No, you're just like, hell yeah, the guitar hit me.
Yeah.
Memories.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it was a good time, and then my friend was like, he got in like the guitarist is an artist, so he came up to him after the show and was like, hey, will you draw me something? And he was drunk too, the guitarist. He's like, draw you something. I don't go to your work and ask you for free shit like that. And then they get in a full-on argument over it. And I'm embarrassed, so I'm like kind of walking away from it.
No, dude, you
And then
get your Snapchat out and you record this.
Well, then I came back later, and they were like full on hugging it out, and he had like drawn him a dick on a piece of cardboard, and it said, "Hey Nick, here's your dick," and he still got it. And
Nice.
and then we were still so drunk that we actually had to get a hotel down there because neither of us could drive home,
Smart call.
and he got a lot of trouble from his future
From the missus.
or then wife.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was fun.
That's good.
It was
I like
fun.
that.
It was
I
really
like
fun.
that.
We still reminisce. Oh, I'm sorry.
No,
I
no.
can continue. We got to the hotel and there was something going on in San Diego where they were like, we got like one of the last rooms. And
Single bed.
no, it was like a
Hotel
double king size bed. Like it was too much, almost, you know.
Oh, right.
But there was like people.
Well, we have the honeymoon suite left,
Yeah.
so...
Yeah. Rotating beds.
So you guys took a bath together? Yeah.
Well, you're drunk. Why not?
It's kind of
The look on your face.
I'm gonna.
Yes.
How'd she know? No, there was like people doing it like right against the wall, and then at 3 different times, like the same guy tried to like come into our room and like knock on the door until we finally got him. We're like, "Hey man, you got the wrong room." He's like, "Oh, sorry," and then he came around again, like later on.
He's probably on the completely wrong floor.
Yeah,
Sorry.
but it was just like a really random night.
That sounds like
I usually
so
don't
much
get
fun.
that drunk, but it was fun.
Certain occasions call for
Oh,
that
that's
sort of
awesome.
thing.
All right, so my best concert experience was... Shit, I'm trying to remember the year. I'm going to say 2003. It was the Red Hot Chili Peppers and the Flaming Lips opened up for 'em, and the Flaming Lips blew me away.
Her name is Yoshime. She's a black belt in karate, working for the city. She has to discipline her body, 'cause she knows that it's demanding to defeat those evil machines.
If you ever get a chance to see the Flaming Lips live, they are so goddamn good. They are made to be live, to be a live performance, to just enjoy. Everything about it was insane. They had these giant balloons and balls. Everyone was dressed up in costumes. It was just a huge epic carnival. And then after that, you get to see goddamn Red Hot Chili Peppers.
I got dosed by you and closer than most to you. And what am I supposed to do? Take it away.
That's cool. I've never seen it.
And they were playing, obviously, a bunch of stuff off of Californication at the time. Their newer album, right after that came out.
Stadium Arcadium.
No,
No,
it was before that. I'm trying to remember. I can't believe it.
What
I'm
was in
blanking
between
on it.
those? Californication.
It's really bugging me. I'd have to look
With
it
the
up.
Zephyr song? Or is
Yes, exactly. Yeah, that's.
What was the name of that album?
I have to look it up right
It's on the
now.
tip of my tongue.
Yeah, me too. But that show by far was one of the best concert experiences of my life, and we had pretty decent seats, so we weren't like up like it was at Coors Amphitheater at the time. Cricket.
Oh yeah.
What is it now? Is it Sleep Train?
Sleep Train.
Sleep Train. Okay. At the time it was
Sleep
Coors.
Train.
Yeah. So yeah, we weren't stuck up in the lawn. We actually had pretty good seats, and we were like right in the middle, so we had a great view
cool.
of everything. Yeah, just such a phenomenal show. So
Yeah, you
yeah,
weren't even
that,
back in the
I
movies.
have been to a lot of concerts since, and quite a few concerts at that venue, and that one's still just
That's cool.
so goddamn good. And I think it was just the combination of all those bands was just
Yeah, that's a dynamic
so good. Yeah, really fucking good. And yeah, Flaming Lips now he's like collaborating with Miley Cyrus. They're doing all this crazy shit together, and I think it's cool that like you can get like crazy artists to just get funky on stage and just collaborate and just be crazy.
Yeah.
Get out there and actually put on a show.
Yeah,
as opposed
that's
to like
cool.
a Britney Spears who might do a lot of lip syncing, even though she's putting on a show with dancing and you get to see her. It's, to me, I feel like it's if you were to see that show with Miley Cyrus and the Flaming Lips, it'd be like You're actually
just so
experiencing the music
genuine.
there in that
Right.
moment.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, exactly, genuine.
And I used to, because
Absolutely.
when I started going to smaller shows, I thought like, oh, this is the shit. Like small, intimate, you're seeing the band up close.
Yeah,
But I kind of forgot about those big ticket shows really do like put a lot more into it, you know, theatrical wise.
absolutely.
And then I saw Green Day twice during their American Idiot tour because they toured on that for like 2
Yeah, I
or 3
saw him
years.
on the second
I think,
roundabout.
I
Did we
was-
go to?
No, not together. But
not
I was
together.
there
We
at
were
that
at the,
show,
yeah, that same show. Yeah.
and that was amazing at San Diego State Cox Arena. Like
Yeah.
that was one of those big theatrical, big bands where I was pretty impressed by it.
Absolutely.
I saw Lady Gaga there.
Oh,
And
yeah.
we were on the floor, and she had this entire stage that just kind of like wrapped around and weaved around, so she would come to different
See, that's
parts
a-
during different parts of the show.
She's a good live performer. I can imagine her just being a true artist and going out there actually singing and
Yeah.
doing her thing.
Yeah, she trains her ass off. She
Yeah,
works her
yeah.
ass off, and she was a legit performer. And her dancers are just phenomenal. Phenomenal dancers.
Is that your top one?
I don't know.
not top?
I have so many.
Yeah, I know that's the same.
It is
It
hard.
doesn't have
yeah,
to be
yeah.
a top one,
Yeah,
but
'cause
like a real
I've seen
memorable.
AC/DC live, and they put on such a good show. I've seen Metallica live, and they put on a fucking crazy ass show. And I've seen a bunch of smaller bands and like Soma that I'm just like had incredible time seeing. So it's really hard to like narrow it down. But for me, the Flaming Lips and Red Hot Chili Peppers have always stood out.
Well, sorry.
I was just say for my scene cred, I saw Census Fell and Brand New co-headline in Mira Mesa.
I remember you telling me that. Oh,
Like,
Okay,
way
it's,
back in
like,
the day.
mad cred right now.
Even back then, it sold out so quick, and I remember like 100 more kids than capacity showed up to see if they could even like get in and get tickets, or they were like listening from the
did
parking
they
lot
not
and
realize,
stuff.
or was that like a special thing they were doing? Like, let's do one more time at the episode.
I don't think. I honestly don't. At the time the tickets went on sale to the time the show came
Okay.
out, they released that Deja and Tendu album.
Ooh.
Keep the noise low. She doesn't wanna blow it. Shake from head to toe to your left. I need to show me around. Quickens your heartbeat. Leads me straight into the ground. You don't recover from a night like this. A victim still lying in bed, completely motionless. A hand moved in the dark to a zipper. Hear a boy pacing tight against sheets, barely whisper. This is so messed up. Upon arrival, the guests had all stared, dripping wet.
And they blew up.
Yeah, what
in
would
between.
that have been like 2003 or 4?
2003.
I told you. Did I tell you that I saw them at Coachella 2 years ago? Brand new. It was kind of like you would think that they would be kind of like out of place in the Coachella lineup, but it
Yeah.
was killer.
They've crossed
They killed
over.
it. Yeah.
They've definitely crossed over.
Yeah.
Too.
Well, they have those
Would they be
loyal
on one of
fans that
one of the larger stages?
they weren't
or-
on a main
Okay.
stage. No.
Pretty good crowd though when you saw them.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. If you are a fan of Brand New, you're gonna go see them.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah,
They're
they were.
They're really
They
good.
were really, really good.
Yeah.
Really good.
I'd like to see it. But anyway,
Yeah.
sorry. Go ahead. I told you.
Oh, that's okay. Well, what I was just telling you guys about was when I went to see Father John Misty at the North Park Observatory.
Jesus Christ, girl, what are people gonna think when I show up to one of several funerals I've attended for Grandpa's suite? With you, with me, someone's gotta help me dig.
Father John Misty, he's the guy from Edward Sharpe.
No, he was in
Okay.
Fleet Foxes.
Okay.
So he came to the observatory, which is right down the street from the house that I had lived in for a year prior. And right when I moved out was when they opened it up as the observatory. It didn't used to be that, so it was like right when I moved, there was a huge shift in the area, basically, and like all these different places were popping up, and
Yeah.
it just became really
yeah,
like
you're right. Yeah. It really
it just
did.
started to really like change a
It
lot.
really
Well,
started to pop.
Well, I bought this, I had his record, and I found him when I was going through, like, one of the most, like, darkest times in my life, and I found this record, and I bought the actual vinyl, and I would listen to it when I moved into my new house, which was, like, around this time, and basically I just was, like, you know, super dramatic, but this record, like, saved my life, and I was just, like, I didn't even know what Father John Misty looked like I was just like, I love this music, I love this person, I have to go see him. So he was coming, we bought tickets the day they went on sale, I knew we were going to go see him, and it was one of the best concerts of my life. It was super intimate. I was right dead center, and I know that he looked at me and he saw me, and we had soul connection, and I will never forget it.
Yeah.
Like, I left and I was like, I could die happy now having that experience. So that's my story.
Did he only have one record out at the time?
Uh-huh.
So he just played from the whole thing? Then?
Uh-huh. Well, no. He'd had two. He just released his second.
Oh, okay.
So he'd had the first out for a while, and it was like kind of a cult thing for a while, and then he released his second, and he played every single song from both of them.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
That's pretty rad.
And
what a treat for fans.
Oh yeah, it was so legit, and he had this sign behind him, this light up neon sign that was in the shape of a heart, and it said no photography. And if you kind of know his sense of humor, it's just like so perfect, because he's just always about like making fun of like the status quo and what's going on, like kind of very tongue in cheek, very, very intelligent. Like he got his name, he did a mushroom trip and like climbed up into a tree naked, and that's how he came up with Father John Misty. it was
made himself into a prophet.
Yeah, made himself into a character essentially. But it was just one of those moments, one of those really intense, touching, beautiful moments, and I know he saw me and I saw him, and that was it.
That's cool.
But I've seen a lot of really, really great shows. I mean, I saw the Red Hot Chili Peppers the first year I went to Coachella, and we were pretty close. That was awesome.
I know we all go to shows a lot too, so it's like you're like filing through the recesses. Yeah.
What sucks is there's a show in your mind that you probably completely forgot about.
I know.
Oh yeah.
Which sucks.
Yeah, totally.
You probably had such a good time there. All right, so another show that just popped out of my mind. It was so random. It was Panic at the Disco when they first came out.
Boy, you'll ever meet, sweetie, you had me. Girl, I was it, look past the sweat. A better love deserving of exchanging body heat in the passenger seat. No, you know it will always just be me. Let's get these D-hearts beating faster, faster. So testosterone boys and hard-looking girls. Will you
There was barely anybody. There were a lot of people there, but the way they were performing at the time, it was very artistic. So they would have, it was almost like a carnival, because they were very much like stylistic and artsy. If you ever watch their music videos, that was another really, really great show, because at the time it was very much in the album, and all they had was their album. So they had all that music to sing, whatever it is, like 10 songs in 45 minutes or whatever. But they put on such a fun, kick-ass show, and it was so intimate, just like
Where
you're saying.
was
It was at Soma. It must have been on the, I want to say the main stage, but still not. They probably could have completely packed out the side stage that was there, but the
Were
main
they
stage.
the headliner?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah,
that must have been pretty early on.
Oh,
I guess.
yeah, very, very early on. Yeah, but it was so good. Now they're doing arenas and shit.
Yeah. I remember, actually I have quite a few memorable shows at Soma. I saw The Used at Soma.
Is it worth it? Can you even hear me? Starting with your spotlight on me. Not enough to feed the hungry. I'm tired and I felt it for a while now. In this sea of lonely, the taste of ink is getting old. It's 4 o'clock in the fucking morning. Each day gets more rambling like the last day.
I saw Thrice at Soma.
Oh, nice.
I saw Anthony Green at Soma when he first started touring solo. I saw Phoenix TX on the side stage the same day that I tried out for the Charger Girls, and it was like such a memorable day, because I made it to finals, and I went through this whole day, and I was like, I'm going in 2 days to go to like the final audition for Charger Girls, and I'm going to see like one of my favorite bands at the time. Is one of my favorite bands like on the side stage of Soma right now. Like, this is the fucking best day of my life. Like, it was so rad.
That's cool.
Yeah, that venue's been really crucial for all of us, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't go there as much anymore, but back in our younger years.
Yeah. I went to Soma once to the side stage to see Bayside.
This isn't who I am. From confident to self-doubt in 60 seconds, storming stages and stereos from here to there.
And it was one of the first times they played in San Diego, so I was like, oh, I gotta go see. I was super into their record and stuff, so I was like, I gotta go see them. And they were one of the opening acts, so I went and saw them and on the side stage, and the headlining act that night was Fall Out Boy. And it was like in 2003, like just after they released Take This to Your Grave, like their first album, and it was still packed and sold out. And I was like, man, this band, wow, what a draw. This is crazy. And they came on stage, and I remember I didn't hear their music at all because it was so fucking loud in that place, and people were just going balls to the wall like crazy for them. And I was like, holy shit, like, who are these guys?
Oh,
Kinda
like
moment.
way too, like that, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so it must have been 2004 or 5. I saw them at Warped Tour, and they were on one of the main stages, and I didn't really know Fall Out Boy.
Like that smoke, yeah, one for giving up on me. One just cause will kill you sooner than my expectations. To my favorite liar, to my favorite score, I could have died with you. I hope you choke on those words that kiss that bottle. Confess.
They weren't in my mind yet. And I'm like, oh, I'll check these guys out. They must be popular. They're on the main stage. The band I really want to see is going to be on the main stage over here in a few minutes. So let's see what I can do over here. And just see all these girls just packing in, packing in. I'm like, all right, let's see what happens.
Yeah.
All right, and then I get there, and Fall Out Boy starts playing, and I'm just blown away about how fucking good they are and how pumped everybody is around me to see them. Everyone is singing along, and I'm just like, holy shit, these guys are good. I better go get home, go on Napster, and download all the fucking music. Oh my god.
Totally.
Get off the phone, Mom. Get on the dial.
This is gonna take a while, Mom. Don't expect any calls for a while. Net zero is busy.
Yeah, we got in the morning, it's still at like 78%.
Damn it.
Bringing down
I
that
need to burn this on CD right now.
But yeah, ever since I saw FOB then, I'm like, oh my god, these guys are fucking awesome.
They get a lot of flack now, and I kind of can understand it because they're not necessarily, like, their music hasn't really progressed that much. I hate to say that, but it's not, like, in my opinion, it hasn't, but they are still... were fucking rad, and they still are pretty rad. They're still pretty
some
rad.
catchy ass good
cool.
music.
Yeah, there was definitely that, especially after I saw them that, and then I got into From Under the Cork Tree, which is such a good album.
It reminds me of you.
Yeah, I remember we're on vacation.
Yeah,
when I saw that video. But then they were kind of like a chick band. I felt like, and I was always kind of like,
you don't want to tell anybody you're into Fall Out Boy
or like,
that much,
especially at that time, like how much I really liked that album too, and it was always kind of on the down low. And their albums after that too.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're great songwriters and like pretty unique, and like they totally started out in like the pop punk kind of thing, but they did evolve from there, and
they kind of made their own genre.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah,
they just kind of did their own thing after that, and what I liked about them too is that they got signed and got bigger and just went with it. They didn't just burn out.
They also kind of created their own thing too. Like they had their own label. I mean, they had Panic at the Disco, Gym Class Heroes, a bunch of these other really good bands that they kind of like brought along with them and brought them to the forefront and had them tour with them, and they had this whole clandestine.
That's right.
Yeah, clandestine.
Great word.
I mean,
clandestine industries.
Yeah, so they were pretty big, especially with the emo scene and especially girls at the time too.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Their album that was after Fucked.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a good
That
one.
was a perfect one.
Just another day. Another day.
Jay-Z
day, another
produced
ring.
it.
What's that?
Jay-Z produced it.
Oh, that's right. And he's got that intro.
What you critics said it never happened. We dedicate this album to anybody people said couldn't make it. To the fans that held us down, to everybody came around, came around, came around, came around. Welcome. It's here.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
What album was that?
Thriller?
Was it called Thriller?
No,
No, it wasn't called Thriller.
That's
but Thriller was on.
yeah. Damn it. Wait, I need to. We know this.
I know. It's the one. It's not
It's
Infinity on High. No, it's
Yeah,
not.
it's
No,
Infinity on
Is
High.
it Infinity
Is
on
that?
High?
I think
Okay.
that's the name of the
Infinity on
album.
High.
Yes.
The
Okay.
next one was Full Ado.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, okay,
Okay.
so yeah.
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 Infinity on High. That's right. Yeah.
45.
Whoa. I just got shit.
So women like it around your throat.
Oh, baby. Yeah. Oh man, that was a good time for music. Another Scene Cred show I went to was brand new, and they were the opening band at this venue called The Scene. It was in Claremont, and I saw a number of shows there, and then it got shut down. But they were opening for the Movie Life, and they were like a drive-through records band that did a couple albums and then kind of went to the wayside. But Brand New was the opener for that show. That was like the first time I had seen. I hadn't really heard of them, and was like a fan right away. It's crazy.
That's
At
so
the
cool.
Scene too, Taking Back Sunday played there. Like the Used played there. I remember I tried to get tickets, but I couldn't. Like it was such a small venue, and these bands were just blowing up. You know, it was crazy.
I saw the
How
used
lucky
at
are we?
at the Del Mar. Did you guys ever see any good shows at Del Mar?
Yeah, I saw that show.
Yeah, I saw
we
the
talked about that.
used. I've seen Yellow Card there.
I saw Newfound Glory there play for almost 2 hours. One
Really?
Time. Yeah.
Oh.
Right after their big Sticks and Stones album came out, they played the Del Mar Fair the next summer, and I went with my girlfriend at the time, and I took my sister, and they played like all of Sticks and Stones, and they're less popular, like a couple older albums they played from, and it was so thrilling because I was like such a big fan of all that music. That's probably the best show I've seen at the Del Mar Fair.
I've seen some good shows at the racetrack too. I've seen the Wailers. I've seen
Yeah.
Ziggy Marley. I saw
Cake.
Hoobastank.
Cake, and we saw
Cake.
Cake.
I've
That
seen
was
Cake
fucking
quite a
that
few
great
was-
show.
that
Actually,
was
Cake.
really great.
Do you ever get a chance to see Cake live?
Heads of state who ride and wrangle, who look at your face from more than one angle, can cut you from their bloated budgets like sharpened knives to chicken McNuggets. Now heads of state who ride and wrangle, who look at your face from more than one angle, can cut you from their bloated budgets like sharpened knives to chicken McNuggets. Shut the fuck up. No, shut the fuck up. Right. Learn to buck up. Right, shut the fuck up. Hey. Oh. Now. Learn to buck up.
They put on a great show.
Fantastic.
Awesome show. They play such a great, like, eclectic
blown away.
catalog of music.
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah.
and they've been around forever too.
Yeah.
Kind of like
Kind of
me.
like Clemps.
Hey, remember Cake?
He just croaks. This
is how I wanted it.
They're good.
I wanted to
I want to go out on. I want to go out recording a podcast, smoking hookah with my friends.
Talking about cake.
Talking about cake.
We were talking about Cake. And then, well, what I liked about that Cake show was that the first half of the show was all this like newer stuff that they put out, which was great. Like everyone was like, it was. I wasn't familiar with it, but I was like grooving to it. Like, oh, this is fun. And then they did like a little intermission. They came out and just boom, all their hit songs, like total crowd pleasers. Like they
And
knew
he
like.
doesn't have that thing. I'm sorry.
No. Go ahead.
He doesn't have that thing that's like like, you know, you can tell when people are like, we're playing this song, but we're only playing it because people love it. Like, you can tell that they still, like to play it. Whether it's because people like it and they get off on that, or it's because they still really like it, but you can, like, they're still so in the moment, even when they're playing the songs that they've probably played, like, a million times. Because that's what being a true artist is, kind of, in a sense. Like, I can understand getting sick of your songs and not wanting to do it, but then you're kind of being, like, a brat about it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
absolutely. I've always kind of, like, I'm like, just get over it. You know, like, that's what people came to see. And, like, they're one of the last bands that truly got a shitload of airplay. Like, even when they were going into that set, I was like, I forgot that I've kind of grown up with these songs. I don't know, especially in San Diego, like, on 91X, they always play Cake and stuff like that. It was just like, we've all grown up with this music and stuff, and they, like, play it perfectly.
And it's unique. It's like, it's
unique.
Cake. Mm-hmm. This is Cake.
It's real. I just love that about it, too.
And as you get older, don't you find when you, especially if you re-listen to a song, you're like, oh, now I finally get what they're actually singing about. All the time, like, I'm like, oh, okay. Now, like, it's not just catchy lyrics. Like, I get what you're actually singing about. This is so great. And it just adds a whole nother layer to why you love that song.
Yeah.
That's true.
He was saying some stuff I couldn't even remember because I had a few beers and I was like standing there with my jaw open, like the things that he was saying within his songs and without, like talking about like the way that he addresses like the condition of society and like all the things he talks about. My mind was just blown. Like I was just like, this guy like knows what the fuck is up. Right now.
It was
kind
cool
of
to get his
hear
perspective.
that they weren't playing this year.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. That would have been great.
Yeah.
Well, you know
they
what?
might play later in the year.
Yeah, they're going to do the second run of shows.
Do you think they will?
I don't.
When did they usually do it? Was it
fall
or winter?
Remember, that year is the first year they started doing a second
run of the races and
and it was in like that was like November or October when we saw
that. Okay, you're right.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
When that show happened.
Okay, cool. Maybe we'll get another.
I took
a
picture
absolutely.
with you and Sequoia that night, and that's your contact photo on my phone.
Oh, wait, I want to see it because I was just thinking about it, but I couldn't remember what it looks like. Does that have a photo bomber in it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Some fucking dude that looks like the O-face guy from Office Space. Every time I see him, that's what I think about. Remember that guy?
Yeah. Will you send it to me?
Yeah, I gotta dig it up.
You don't have to do it right now.
No, I gotta dig it up.
It's really not, like, it's probably like 0.1 on the list of important things, but...
Yeah, being an uncle, it's still
I know you're an uncle
24/7, 24/7 job.
Well, speaking of that, what's it like? I mean, you've been an uncle for a week, a little over a week now.
We can talk about concerts more. I was really glad about that. Wait, I did have one more thing to say.
No, yeah, we can talk about anything and everything, man. Cabin Fever.
I forgot. Oh, I just saw. I saw the Cold War Kids there this summer.
Now hang me up to dry. You rang me out too many times. Now hang me up to dry. I'm burning like the whites of your eyes.
And that was fantastic because I had been a fan for a long time and I'd never seen them live. And not as good as Cake was, but they did do something similar where they kind of played their newer stuff first. And got everyone like kind of warmed up, and then they just went boom, like right into like crowd favorites. It was super. It was amazing. So and fulfilling.
Yeah.
So, that was my thought. But yeah, I'm an uncle now. For a week. Yeah, it feels really good. I don't know. I was telling someone, but I was like, oh, when she was born, you know, there's a lot of family there. Like we all kind of went down and waited, you know, she had a C-section, so we knew it was coming, whatever, and then we saw her, and then I finally held her and everything, but I had this, coming away from it too, I remember thinking, I was like, I can't wait till my sister's back at home, and I get to go have this baby to myself. Like, that was the feeling I had, you know, because everyone wanted to hold her and stuff, and, like, be with her and stuff, and I was just waiting, I was like, well, later on, I will have this baby to myself, and, it was that was kind of a cool thought that like I didn't expect to have, you know. So But like, I visited my sister every day. She was in the hospital. She was there about like 3 days, and then she came home last Sunday, and then I went up there to see her and stuff, and like, you know, just check it out, make sure she was getting settled in and everything. And then like all this week, I've just been working, and it's just like every day I've just wanted to see her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well,
Because
is it
I
cool
really
to
feel like
talk about how Kara's feeling? Like, how's she doing?
She's good.
Everything's healing up. She's
Yeah.
healthy. She's happy. Feeling good about
she's
being a mom.
healthy, and she's very,
That's so
very,
amazing.
very happy.
Yeah.
And it's so weird to like see my sister and be like, "You're a mom now," but at the
Right.
same time, it wasn't weird. It was just like I feel like she was just so ready to step into that role, and there's been no doubts in my mind like whatsoever. Like just to see her with the baby, and I'm like, that's your child, and now she's a mom, and like I respect her on like a whole another level now, and like I probably will talk to her like she's a mom now, like in some like weird way, you know, like I don't feel like as much as like I'm your older brother now, but like you're just a mom that I, you know.
Yeah.
But the baby is like perfectly healthy, and there was like not a
so
single
good. So good to
issue
hear.
with the birth or anything
Awesome.
like that.
Awesome.
And the baby does. Even Kara says the baby does look like her dad a little bit. But then my mom dug up an old photo of my brother and sister when they were born, and oh my god, that baby looks just like Kara when she was like a little baby too. So it was that was like a really weird, like, whoa, that's cool.
It'll
Yeah.
change too, like day to day,
Yeah.
week to week, or like sometimes I know with Lennon, it was like, you look like your mom, you look like your dad, you look
Oh,
like your
yeah.
mom, you look like your dad. You know what I mean? It kept going back and forth, and now she just looks like both of them
Yeah.
to me. You know?
Yeah, and then it was cool when I went up there on Sunday because, you know, it's a newborn and, like, she's fussy and they're trying to figure out feeding and all this stuff. So, the baby's crying a lot. And then while I was there, like, she got fed and then my mom, like, took her and she was holding her and then she, like, was laying there and then opened her eyes and you could see her, like, looking around at the noises and the voices and stuff. And she was quiet and you could just see that little sponge, like, you know, like learning, like
Right.
she was
the wheels
just like
are turning in there.
wait,
There's something going
yeah.
on. Yeah.
And it was just like this, what's going on around here, you know, like that. And like it was the first time she really opened her eyes too, and I was just like, hey, you know, like, what's up? Like, and it's, you know, like an
Oh my
interaction,
God.
you know, with the baby, and it's just like, that is such like a cool little moment and stuff. And now I guess she's opening her eyes a lot more. It's like the pictures I've been getting, her eyes are open a lot more too. So I'm super excited this weekend to go see her again.
Oh,
You're
man,
gonna see her
so
tomorrow
exciting.
or Sunday?
Probably Sunday, yeah. So it's cool, and I'm glad like she's at my mom's. Like it's cool to go to like my mom's house and
Oh,
see
no,
everybody.
that's so
and,
great
like,
that you get.
yeah.
She's got a great support system.
Right.
You got grandma there. You got grandpa. You got everyone there. You got Uncle Matt. You got everyone there, which
Yeah.
is great.
And
so
even-
awesome.
Even like a couple days before the birth, I went up there to help like my sister get settled, and my stepdad, he's there and he's like trying to put together the playpen. He's just like having a bitch of a time doing it. So I stepped in. We're both trying to like read directions and do this shit. And it was like a really cool moment, you know, because we're like, what the fuck is this shit? And then
IKEA, damn it.
yeah. And then like I started like, all right, well I'm gonna work on the swing now, and you know after a while it's been like a few hours and we're just like building all this baby stuff, and I'm like, wow, this is cool. Like we're in it now. Yeah. So
God
Turning
damn, that's gotta be
back.
so
That is
awesome.
so
Yeah.
cool. Yeah.
So great.
That is so wonderful.
Yeah.
I'm just so happy to hear that everyone's happy and healthy. The baby's good. Kara's healthy. I mean, that's just like just being an outsider, kind of watching, seeing the pictures being uploaded. You know, hearing everything from you. Just really nice to hear. Just knowing Kara, knowing everything she's been through, just knowing that it's just a lot of pressure on a mom to give
Oh, I
birth
can't
and to
imagine.
have a baby and bring a new life into the world. And oh my God, I'm just so stoked that it's all worked out and that it's all moving forward now.
Yeah, it
It's
is.
so fun.
it is.
Yeah. I can't wait to hold a baby one day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
No.
yeah, one
If
day.
you're up in Ramona, just swing by. They don't care.
And,
Yeah.
Matt said
So anyway.
I could come by and hold the baby.
Yeah,
Is that cool?
Hi, is the baby here?
Right, yeah, looking for the baby.
Yeah.
Just need to hold her real quick.
Depending on how much crime's been on Carol, people are like, here.
Yeah, right,
Please.
right.
She said, I was like, one day I was like, can I have a picture, please? And it was a picture of her just like in mid cry,
Oh.
and then I was like, "Oh, clearly having uncle withdrawals." And then she's like, "Well, you can come get her."
Right.
So
I'm sure there will
Been
be
good.
more times where she's like, "Can you come
Yeah.
take care of my kid?" Because she's driving me crazy.
I'm just already like really antsy and looking forward to when she is like can like walk around and talk and stuff, and I can start taking her places, you know, like taking her out to like Disneyland or like Legoland or SeaWorld or all that kind of like cool stuff, you know, where she's kind of aware of what's going on, you know, and you kind of like live vicariously through them and seeing all the stuff for the first time at the zoo or whatever. Like, I feel like I already lived that once because there's a 5-year difference between me and my brother and sister.
Right.
And I have all these memories of us taking them places and things like that when I was probably like, you know, 7, 8 years old. So it'll be cool to kind of like do that again. But,
Yeah.
Oh,
well.
absolutely.
It's different.
Yeah,
it's different now. Yeah. Well,
So great.
congratulations.
Thank you. Pretty
Unky Matt.
stoked. Yeah.
DJ Uncle Matt.
The album's out now, dropped. It's coming at you right out of the oven. It's cooking.
Fresh out of the oven. 7:30. Yeah.
All right, now that we got Sarah here, should we get deep?
What do you want to
Do
pick
you
my
want to get
brain
into
about?
politics? I want to get into politics a little bit.
Uh,
Should we get into it? Or
Yeah,
not?
fine.
We
Why
can
not?
avoid it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just. I want
It's time to suck today's dick.
I want to pick Sarah's brain because last time we touched base with her, she was feeling the burn, and we were in a much different state.
when
Now-
was that?
It was a while ago.
I know,
Maybe
it
like
was
a
a while
month or
ago.
two.
So it was
couple months.
before-
No. It was like 6 months ago.
Yeah, it was before.
Has it been that long?
Yes.
Well, it
It's
was
been
bef-
that long, Sarah?
It was before the
Oh
primaries.
my God! Really?
Yeah.
Oh my! It felt like it was just yesterday. Sarah leaves a very great impact on me, so it's like I feel like she's always here.
Well, it wasn't.
But it's
it
been
feels
that
like
long,
It
it's
feels
crazy.
like a long time ago.
No,
I don't know if
it
it was
has been a
actually
long
6 months
time.
ago, but it was at least 3.
All right, so
Yeah.
Bernie is out. We're stuck with Hillary and Trump. Do
Stuck
you have
with.
any opinion? Like what?
Trying-
I know I'm dropping like this crazy bomb out of nowhere, but I'm just curious, trying to get your opinion because
I full on disassociated.
yeah, it's.
Yeah, I mean that's.
Like, can we just get
that's
past
kind
November
Of,
and see what happens?
that's kind of where I'm at right now.
I feel like a lot of people are just let's see what happens.
Right.
Just going.
Well, the truth of the matter is
Mm-hmm.
that it does matter who we elect, but it doesn't matter who we elect.
Right.
Because the problem is a lot greater than the people that we are going to be put into office.
Yeah.
I'm already thinking. I had this thought this morning of the next elections because I feel like this will be like a turning point in elections of like everything is so exposed now, you know.
Oh, absolutely.
And then I always say like the younger voters coming up, like I have a feeling like everyone kind of sees through our little like dog and pony show that goes on, and this time we're really stuck with two people that there's no favorite. I mean, there might be a favorite in polls or whatever, but like collectively, I feel like we can say as society like there is no favorite here. We're all just kind of like stuck with these two choices.
We're dealing with the Bloods and the Crips right now. We're dealing with gangs. We're just dealing with people that are going to go for their party. So Trump is the Republican
Despite who
candidate,
they
and
are.
now Hillary's the Democratic candidate. So now people are like, okay, let's figure out what's good between these two and start plowing forward. And that's just ridiculous. I wish people would just write in your whoever you want to be president, write them in. Write those people in. If you're still for Bernie, write in Bernie. Fuck Hillary. Fuck Trump. Whoever you. If you're not for Trump, go for Cruz or whoever the fuck those other Republican candidates were. Write those fucking
Right.
people in. Let's make an actual statement here on this one. Why wait another 4 years? I'm like, it's going to be another 4 years. Then after that, that's going
I
to be
think
the.
people are in fear, though.
Right?
They
And
are in fear, but it's like
fear,
what
and they
the
don't
fuck?
really understand that we can do that kind of thing. I
Right.
feel like too many people just are like, oh, well, now I gotta do
It's
this
a lack
one
of
thing again.
education.
Lack
Right.
of education and overexposure in media.
Yeah.
Because any media outlet knows that all they have to do is talk about the presidential race to get, because people are fucking glued to that 24/7. And that is an old system that I just want to die already.
I know,
That is
right?
like a baby boomer
Yes.
setup that's
Yes.
going on, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel
Exactly.
like we're coming up and we're realizing, okay, this is like such an antiquated system, and we kind of, ideally, hope we see through it. You know, and just because you're being bogged down by every media outlet about these two people says there's no education, and it says nothing about the process. It's just feeding into this, oh, we got to choose between A or B.
Right.
So anyway.
Well, I think if anything, I mean, bright side of things, there is one, is that this situation is bringing to light just how broken everything
Yes,
is.
absolutely.
So, whether or not that doesn't determine how it's going to go this time around, but I do think that there's going to be change, more massive change to come
As a result
of what we're working with right now. Because it's just, the whole thing's crock shit.
Yeah, it's a clusterfuck.
Yeah.
It's a big clusterfuck.
And I watched Requiem for the American Dream on Netflix. Have you seen that?
During the Great Depression, which I'm old enough to remember, there was, and most of my family were unemployed, working class. It was bad, but there was an expectation that things were going to get better. There isn't today.
Noam Chomsky has made 2 international reputations.
The most important intellectual alive, America's leading dissenter.
He is listed in anybody's catalog as among the top heroes of the New Left.
He is among the 8 most quoted thinkers ever.
Inequality is really unprecedented. It's like the worst periods of American history. The effect of the concentration of wealth is to yield concentration of power. Not only is it extremely unjust in itself, inequality has highly negative consequences on the society as a whole, because the very fact of inequality has a corrosive, harmful effect on democracy. This is a result of over 30 years of a shift in social and economic policy completely against the will of the population. It goes back to the founding of the country. If you read the debates at the Constitutional Convention, James Madison, the main framer, said the major concern of the society has to be to protect the minority of the opulent against the majority. If you look at the history of the United States, it's a constant struggle between these two tendencies. Pressure for more freedom and democracy coming from below, and efforts at elite control and domination coming from above. You opened by talking about the American dream. Part of the American dream is class mobility. You're born poor, you work hard, you get rich. It's all collapsed.
Have you seen that?
I've heard
No,
about
what?
it, but no.
It's Noam Chomsky. Have you heard of him? He's a linguist, and he was a professor and a social activist, and he's just like super, well, he passed away a couple years ago, but he's just super, super intelligent and just has been like hand on the pulse of the country and the state of how things are going on since the 60s, you know, since he became a professor. And it's basically, he's just outlining the decline of the West and how our political system is run, like combined with the military-industrial complex, repression and oppression in society. It just really like spells it out in what we see. You know, we could talk about it for hours, but I really think that every American should watch this movie. And
Say the title again?
it's called Requiem for the American Dream, and everyone's like, Requiem for a Dream, is that the one? I'm like, no.
Different, bigger scale.
Yeah, exactly. Requiem for the American Dream. And it's about an hour and a half, and he narrates it and just touches on the
Was
most
that
important.
Netflix or Amazon? You said
it's on Netflix.
Netflix. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no excuse for anybody to not... And it's probably on YouTube. It's probably on the internet. Just go out there, watch it. I'm going to watch it tonight. It's on my list right now. I just wrote it down.
It's somewhat depressing, but it's also kind of hopeful because...
I've watched depressing shit all the time.
I mean, knowledge is power.
Right. Oh, absolutely.
If you know, no matter how dire it is, you still know. Like, I still came away feeling like, oh, I have a better grasp on what's going on. Because it's things that you think about, like the Illuminati, like how, you know... all the wealth is in a very, very small percentage of the population, and how, you know, all the wealth kind of moved to America, and just all these like factors that are contributing to the state of our society and the state of our political climate, and the just like basically like what's up, and it's bad. It's dire.
Right.
We're not having choice. We're not having say. We're not having a sense of union. Everything that is fed down to us is to divide us and to separate us and to make us feel like we still need more and more and more, and to distract us from what really truly makes us better people and happier functioning members of society. And it's plummeting with the circle of money feeding into policy, feeding into money, feeding into policy. It just is, it's endless.
It's
and,
a crazy
and
circle.
Nobody is benefiting from it except for the very, very, very small few. And this isn't a new idea. Like the 99%, or what is it, the 1%? What is that movement?
Yeah, Occupy.
Yeah.
Like it's not a new idea, but the way that he lays it out is very,
more
very. It just really lays it out for you. Like you can see it, you can hear it, you can understand it. And there's going to be people that are like ignorant Republicans that are like, that's not true, that's just bullshit. But this guy knows his shit. This guy is not taking sides. He's just laying out, like, I mean, he has been very politically active, but he hasn't been necessarily party active. He's been just active in what he believes is...
And that's what's important, that you're not like, all right, I'm left, right. Just as long as you're right down the middle and just really lay it all out, because there's bullshit on this side and this side.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard to be, like, completely honest and lean more towards the right, in my opinion, but that's also, he talks about how, and we talked about this last time, how religion and traditional values kind of got caught up into what is now like fiscal conservatism, and now it's becoming like racism and bigotry with Donald Trump at the front of it. Like, it's just exposing it. There's always some of that, you know, a lot of ignorance. And I'm not saying that all Republicans are like that. I'm saying that that's how it's the shape
that's
is kind of taking.
It's taken. And that's I feel like you're, by bringing those things to light, those are talking points of, like, the lowest common denominator. Those are things voters can grasp onto. Well, racism, bigotry, stuff like that, like, we're all kind of on an equal playing field as far as that stuff goes. Let's latch onto that. Let's make that the issue. We'll run on these issues. We'll get all the votes. And then we'll
ignore the issues that are really issues.
Exactly.
Like, what? Exactly. Like, can you guys tell me, like, what Donald Trump's, like, can you tell me anything about Donald Trump's policies?
Right.
And, like,
I couldn't really do that with Hillary as well.
Like, can we talk about Hillary's policies? You know why? Because the media is obsessed with her being sick.
Right, yes.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
This isn't real. This has nothing to do with us.
Yeah.
This has nothing to do with what we care about.
Yeah.
Like, this has nothing to do with
it's all distractions.
About,
because
they don't really have that much power anyways.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's and that's what I'm saying too. Like, you know, you could talk about policy all day, but then talk about a woman who may be too old or too sick to be. Then everyone's like, right, yeah. Do I want that person in charge? She's sick. You know what I mean? But that's something everyone can grasp onto, and so that's where the focus goes. And you're 100% right, because
I mean, we're looking at a sad population. This is a sad group of people. We, like, I just can't even imagine how we appear to the outside world.
Oh,
because
I think we appear very idiotic and very dumbed down. I think
it's
the
like
rest
a
of the
reality
world
show.
does not look up to America like back in the 50s when we were saving everyone's ass in World War II. Ooh, that is not the same thing. I don't think people look at Americans like we're
see us
very
stressed
intelligent.
Out, fat.
Yeah, I think
killing each other with guns all the
that's
time.
exactly it. That's exactly
Murderous,
it.
dumb.
Yeah, murderous, dumb.
Yep.
Like, can't understand a gun nut nation.
Yep.
You know, you can throw billion stats about gun deaths in front of our face and we still rally behind it. It's crazy.
Well, and Noam Chomsky talks about, too, how a lot of the way of our current country began after World War II in the golden age of the 50s. And, like, it all started with very good reason and for good, but it's now...
Oh, it's something different.
Things haven't changed. Some things haven't changed that need to, yet everything has changed. You know what I mean? It's like, it's not... The way that we're doing things is not keeping up with the times, basically.
Exactly.
Which is very clear, you know?
Yeah, we're caught up in that sort of rhetoric of those ideals and things that came about and that we embraced back then and were able to become like the superpower we became. But like you said, we're caught up in like the narrative of it. Meanwhile, the world has changed.
We're not
Information has changed. Technology has changed.
Besides our, to my knowledge, I don't know statistics, I'm going to be honest, but besides our military, what do we have?
Yeah.
Well, besides that, we have the military and we have the petrodollar, basically. That's basically it.
Which is reliant on other countries.
A lot of foreign oil right now, absolutely.
Right,
yeah.
which happens to be
that,
the
which is
countries
the reason
that we're
in occupying and spreading democracy.
Like how is this not, like, how can people not see that?
Yeah.
How can you not see that, you know?
I think a lot of people do see it, and the
Don't
media
want it.
is still painting it one way or another, and people are so focused in on, look, it really is divided. You have CNN for the Democrats, you've got Fox News for the Republicans, and that's what you're going to watch what you're drawn to, and then you get caught up in all they're showing, and probably on Fox now, is Hillary fainting or whatever. She's sick. She's not fit to be the Democratic nominee. And then on the other side, you have Trump's a racist. Trump's a bigot. Trump's an asshole. Trump doesn't deserve to be president. So it's like they just create the division. They create all this fervor, and then we don't really have anything good in the end to choose from. And they create this division of left and right, blue, red. Which is insane, and I think most people, on average, fall right in between.
Oh yeah,
we're a little conservative over here. We're a little more, I don't know, what liberal on this end. We're all kind of just stuck in this weird ride of American politics, and we're all like trying to figure out where's it going to go. Is it going to go here? Is it going to go there?
Well, the roots are deep. That's the thing, is that the root is deep, and we're not going to the root.
Right.
Because
that's
nobody
right.
wants to go to the root, because that shit is ugly as fuck in the country.
Yeah.
There is classism, there is racism, there is consumerism, there is obsession with capitalism, which capitalism is fucking rad. It made our country, but what is it now?
Yeah.
Is it that rad now? Is it really doing us that great?
Yeah.
Like, I had a discussion with my dad the other day about just, like, war in general and, like, the concept of war, and he's like, I'm like, where has it ever gotten us as humans to go to war? We win a war, we conquer somebody, blah, blah, blah. 10 years later, we have another war. Like, when has it ever done anything good?
Right.
Like, really good for humanity. You know, he couldn't answer it.
Yeah.
Like, because it hasn't.
Yeah. Especially even moving toward the present day, when you can only... It almost seems like it's less about valor. It's less about, defending, like, a moral and society and things like that. It's just become something completely different.
Well,
unfair.
People still think it's about valor and morality.
Right.
It's not.
Yeah.
Like...
Because we're in the age of globalization. We are able to have our fingers on the pulse of worldwide communication, everything else. Like back when it was about those things, is because you were coming from your place, going to a foreign place, and all you knew is home, and all they knew was home, and you're really, really kind of battling it out. But now you kind of just, you know everybody's side. Yeah. You know, it's like, how can you be...
If you can have the mind to look at everybody's side.
Yeah. But how can you be true to your one cause? You'd have to almost be a sociopath to not be to know something about the other side and not be empathetic.
Right. Well, that's what. See, I am not really. I of course I do have some worry, but my heart of hearts is not worry, because I think the kids now in our generation is like, fuck this shit.
Yeah.
Like I think a majority. I mean, I know people that I went to high school with that are on my Facebook, and they are staunch Republicans and they have their beliefs. I'm not sure why they have their beliefs. There's going to be those people. I think it's more the people that don't question things and just got things handed down from their parents. Whatever. You know, you live your life, you do you. But I want to say, and I want to hope, that the majority of our generation and the generations that follow don't give a fuck about the things that aren't worthy of giving fucks about.
Yeah,
and
I agree.
Do care about like the ideas of my father's generation aren't even a speck in their eye.
Right.
You know, it's not relevant anymore.
Exactly. And like speaking about our generation too, and you know, probably like a little bit below us too, we are going to be that last generation who were the children of that great economic boom and that economic time, and you know, access to everything, and grew up well. You know what I mean? And it's true. And now coming up, we will continue on to another generation that grew up in a time of economic recession, post 9/11, you know, Homeland Security type things, where kind of the veil was lifted, or is in the process, I feel, of being lifted.
Right.
And it will, you know, the next generation will be different because of it. And yes, we can hope that it will make for change, but you know, it's no one wants to give up control, and I feel like what I see nowadays is just like this last bastion of doing that, you know.
Controlling?
Control, yeah, and doing it with the lobbies, you know, and forming politics, and I don't know. It's a big clusterfuck.
Yeah.
With you saying that, what makes me kind of think back to the revolution, when you're here in America, there was no one to really stand up against that power structure of they were really in charge. You had the king who was across the ocean, thousands of miles away, dictating these rules and these laws. And now we've got this government that's just so built up. It seems so hard to create a revolution and change those issues, the way that it's flowing and moving. But I think we have a lot more power than we give ourselves credit for. I think we are the people. We really do need to stand up at some point, be it a digital revolution at some point, which I really do think if the internet continues the way it is, free, open internet, I think we could really create a revolution. Like you were saying, the next election might be it. It really might be it, especially depending on who gets in there.
Right.
I mean, I am not confident with Trump or Hillary or whatever thing that might be put in place. It's just, I am not confident with.
I'm not confident with the pickle either.
The pickle party, I don't think it'd be great. Yeah. I feel like it might take a little bit more suffering for people to really this is not great. We're not on this path, and we are not this great country that we used to be, and it's not there anymore. It's not supporting us like it needs to be, and I just hope that people will wake up. And the younger generation, obviously, it's so ingrained to them to go to the internet and to go seek out information because it's so available now. Imagine when we were kids, we would have to go to the library, I guess, if we really were curious about shit. Now you can go to Google and you could really find and search
the
out.
News more. I mean, I trusted the news a lot more when I was that age, and we didn't have like such.
Do not trust in the news now, though. The news is not.
No.
I don't go to the news for real information. Like I hear it, and then I'm like, okay, let me go to the internet and figure it out.
Because they lost their journalistic principles.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
And they lost.
They're not real. Yes.
Real audience
Those people
with it.
reading you the news, they're reading you the news because they get paid $150,000 a year to read you the news. They're not out there
and
like,
draw you in for commercials.
Exactly. They're good-looking people to draw you in so that they can sell you on commercials and advertising money. That's what they're there to do. And that's why they create all this speculation with Hillary's sickness and Trump's bigot asshole.
Yeah, it's not
He
news.
might be, and Hillary might be sick. Who knows?
It's not news, though.
It's not real news. It's completely deflecting.
It's not that relevant.
Yeah.
There's so much other there. There's so much other shit going on.
Can you, like, 200 years ago, I don't know if this is true. This is a question I have. Would they have asked, like, would it shock Americans to know that the candidates have not discussed their policies?
Yeah.
In an open forum.
Yeah.
Would that not be, like, have they ever? I feel like they have. I feel like that's what candidates used to talk about.
Yeah.
Now they're not talking at all. They're just bantering, and it's all a show, and it's like, it's disgusting. It's disgusting. But
speaking to that, and I had this thought just now, like they're gearing up toward the election, and it's just like it's such a reality show ratings crushing it right now.
Yes.
And it's going to culminate in this big election night, and not only in America, but the world's going to tune in to see it, and everyone's profiting off of it, and it's not even going to stop once the election happens. As soon as it happens, it's going to continue even more. Now they're in for now. You know what I mean? Like it's going to become more of a joke. I feel like than it already is.
Yeah.
A total reality show.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
yeah, I don't have that much foresight about it, other than
It's really not that far away either. I mean, it's right.
I know
I feel like it's right around the corner.
It's all going to be okay, and my soul says it's going to be okay. But
yeah, you want to pray, you want to keep positive. You're like, okay, we're just going to keep moving, at least in a positive, somewhat positive direction.
Well, right now I'm thinking like, what can I do? Like, how can I exercise my power in a way that I feel good about it? And
just as an individual human being.
Just as an individual.
Yeah, okay.
Like, what can I do?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've never been particularly politically active, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm not an extreme type of person on that, like I'm never just been like, I'm gonna fight and I'm gonna fight for one thing. You know, but it's like, what can we do? Physically, what can we do right now? To do anything. Like,
we're
how
doing it right now. We're podcasting. Hopefully people will listen to this and be like, well, maybe I need to think a little bit more. Maybe I really do need to just expand my mind. Like, look at this, look at that, look at the left, look at the right. I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe not. Maybe not. To me, that's all I feel like I can do is just talk about it with my friends in an open conversation and just, I don't know, something might happen.
Yeah.
For a positive, you know, a positive thing. That's all I hope for, really.
I know.
I try not to get... I know what you're saying, but at the same time I think, well, what we can do is not give too much of our energy to it.
Right.
Because it's so far out of our hands. And that's more of like a treat yourself kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I completely agree with that, and I totally felt like that up until this point, but I just did this session with one of my mentors and teachers. Every 6 weeks she does a course on a different tarot card, and we did the Devil tarot card, and she does a 10-day, and on the 8th day, it was amongst other things that are related to it. It's basically about, the Devil is about unchaining yourself from old stories, from things that hold you back, from, it's about exercising your freedom and finding where to exercise your freedom.
New beginnings almost, or just cutting the cord type of deal?
where is it latching onto you, and where can you cut it? And we did one on, like, the collective, and the question was, like, what is evil? And what kind of came up was, like, it's kind of us not doing anything about what's happening. And I was like, no, like, I'm doing what I can do because I'm becoming a better person and I'm sharing my love with other people, and that's incredible and that's amazing, but I still just have this thing in the back of my head that I'm like, am I really doing all that I can do? I don't know, because I don't know what I would do.
Yeah.
And I think
you're doing as much as you can for yourself, maybe at a certain point, but then at a certain point, maybe it reaches, like, now I gotta do something different. I don't know.
Well, yeah, it's all questions. Yeah. There's no answer.
Yeah,
it's all
exactly.
questions. But it's like,
at least it's got you questioning,
there's also
though,
this feeling that I've had throughout my life of, like, or even recently, is like, if I can talk to one person and have a conversation with one person on one night, that could change both of our lives, and, like, that's enough. Like, being who you are and having, like, a deep conversation or having a laughing conversation, like, whatever, something that's transformative, that's enough, you know? But then it's like, is it? I don't know. I feel okay. I can sleep at night because I know I'm doing good work and I'm a good person and I'm following my dreams, and I'm finally at this point in my life where I can do that, but I don't even know what I would do if I wanted to. Like, political activism, like,
do you think that
what does that mean?
The extra burden of those questions comes from the fact that we live in a democracy and we're told constantly that, you know, our vote counts and we do have a say, and you know what I'm saying? Like,
well,
is that almost an extra? Because I know what you're saying. You're saying back, like, thinking in a very real way. What can I do tomorrow, really, to affect this situation that's going on? But the kind of underlying current is, well, not a whole lot. You know what I mean?
Then that takes away my power if I believe that.
I'm not saying that that's what you believe in, but I'm just saying that's where maybe that burden comes from. You know?
Yeah.
You could. I don't know.
It doesn't feel like a
maybe because I don't
it's
have.
Weird.
Maybe it's just because I don't have a solid answer for you.
Yeah, it just feels like it's just a question, people of the world. Like, it's just a question that I have. I don't have an answer.
Yeah.
Maybe it will become clearer to me. I really think in my soul that me doing my work and following my path is helpful to the world, and the universe.
I think so.
But am I living in my privilege and turning a blind eye?
Well, I like to think, like, when you keep talking, I keep thinking about the butterfly effect. It takes something very small to create something very large. Like a flap of the butterfly wing across the world, now you have a hurricane. So it's like, it takes something very small. All you gotta do is plant a seed maybe in someone's mind, and then it flourishes into something completely different.
Okay.
You know, it's all about ideas and discussing and really just spreading your ideas. I mean, that's what we really have to do. I just feel like there was a point in time where people were like, you can't talk about religion, you can't talk about politics, you can't talk about blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, these are all the things you should be talking about, and we need to be talking about this shit at dinner time with our friends and our family, in a podcast form. If you're out there and you have a podcasting equipment, talk about whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
Be it politics, be it sex, be it whatever's going on in our lexicon right now. We should all be talking about all this weird, nutty shit that is going on right now. Why not? And get some sort of clarity, you know, just by talking and getting different perspectives and just seeing where it ends up. Because really, at a certain point, we're all just spectators. We're all just kind of sitting back and watching this spectacle, this show, this play that's playing out. We're just observers. We're kind of just enjoying the play out in front of us. And maybe, I'm not saying that's completely our role when it comes to the simulation or whatever the fuck. Yes,
I mean, that's the thing. Like, but you're right when you said it's ideas, because it does all start with a story, and all of this starts with an idea.
Yeah.
Like, everything we believe starts with an idea.
I think, and to that, I think asking yourself that question almost answers the question, because you are creating an awareness, even if it's in your own mind. Mm-hmm. And it makes me think that by asking yourself that question, maybe there will be an opportunity that arises, and you will be aware of it because it is on the forefront of your mind. And I see the value in that.
Totally. Yeah, and I believe things like that. I believe that to be true. Mm-hmm. So
that's a really good
belief
point.
is a huge thing. A belief will it changes things around you. Absolutely, it really, really does. Yeah.
Word
up.
Thanks for tuning in. But it's very true. Creating that consciousness, creating that awareness, I think, does play into the question itself. Mm-hmm. And I like that, and that's not something I had thought about before. Yeah.
All right, I kind of want to transition to something different.
Okay, let's go.
That was good.
A little crazy, a little different. All right.
No, we're good.
All right, so I was thinking, I think this is the 39th podcast we're going on. I was thinking about the 50th. Me, myself, Sean Evans, not Matt, unless he wants to.
Is it all getting naked?
No.
That was a few podcasts ago. You weren't here.
It would be everybody getting naked, not just myself. I found an old bag of, let me highlight, legal salvia. And I was thinking about live on the 50th podcast, smoking a little salvia.
You found some? Where did you find some? Only in the cabin when
I found it in
salvia.
my box of salvia.
In an old Tupperware.
Yeah.
What is all thing?
And I thought about, it's been a long time since I've done salvia. I have no idea if it's still good. I've had it probably for a couple of years.
Still good.
Well, then we'll find out on the 50th podcast of Cabin Fever. I don't know. I wanted to touch base with Matt and get his thoughts on.
That's something I hadn't thought about in years.
I know, it's been so long since.
That was quite a transition.
Well,
have you done salvia?
Gotta switch it up.
No,
I've never done it. Well, I've got some.
I don't see. That's something I honestly just won't. I don't recommend it, and it's not even in a bad way. Like, don't do it. It's frightening.
Yeah.
It's in a way that's like, when I did it, it was because I was smoking a lot of weed.
Right.
And there was this cool thing. Let's try it, and I don't regret it. But at the same time, like, I have no desire to do it again.
I've enjoyed salvia though, like,
and that's
experience
my favorite salvia story is watching
amazing.
Sean do it. Because
can I hear it?
Wait,
it's not even a.
I need a minute.
All right, let's pause it.
Let's pause it. This is salvia.
It's quite a trend. Lamenting over it.
Recording.
Matt.
It really does smell good.
Is that the salvia?
It is. If you want to check it out.
See.
All right, so with salvia, they've got different concentrations of salvia. So they've got like 10x all the way up to like 50x.
Are you high smelling it?
No.
Where did you get this? Where
did
this
funky.
come from?
It smells like tea.
I want to say I bought it at the Black in OB, maybe, or
when?
Head Shop
Salvia.
a couple years ago.
Salvia.
I don't even know if was it .com? Oh, that must have been where they got it. Yeah, so I've got way too much.
Okay, so when I did salvia, it was at Sean's house. He lived in Mira Mesa. A bunch of dudes. And
that's how you do it, right?
His roommate had it, and we smoked it out of a bong. And we each
was it the
turns.
gravity bong?
No, it was, it was the albacore.
Oh, the albacore.
Do you put it on top of a bowl, or do you just
we
smoke
smoked
it?
a bowl of it. That's what we did that night.
Okay.
All right, so normally what you do, you just a little pinch of marijuana, and then and then you get a salvia base on top. So you just kind of a base of marijuana and just I don't know how much. A couple of coatings or something.
I recall it was like
a couple of pinches.
It filled the rest of the bowl. It wasn't a big bowl, but it was enough.
All right, so
it was a long time ago.
A nice marijuana base, and then you put some salvia on top. And then with salvia, it does not taste good. It's not like a great high or anything like that.
Yeah,
it's
not
you first
fun.
Inhale or exhale. It's not a fun thing. No, absolutely not.
No, I mean
it's an explorational thing.
Yeah,
like if you're doing in good surroundings, it can definitely be beneficial.
That's true. I don't know. I feel like
but
if you're 22,
great.
23, and you're experimenting with some drugs, then you do it with your friends.
I
feel like it came out in a good situation. Like I'm not upset that I tried
what
it.
happened?
Okay, so we're all taking turns doing it. Our friend Chris did it, and he's like
Bobby?
Yeah, 'cause he's an anxious guy anyway. So I'm watching him do it, and he's just like, you know, and I'm like, okay, whatever. So this is what I
look appealing.
This is what I remember. Okay, this is what I remember. I remember you guys telling me like you'll take the hit and then the come on's like immediate. So I just remember like taking the hit, but then okay, this sounds like pretty grotesque, but I remember feeling like someone was like taking my skin and like ripping it off of me.
Okay.
And it just happened so instantaneous, and that maybe that thought was so instantaneous that you like shake it off and you kind of slowly come to, and it felt like 20 minutes had passed. But that's all I remember from the trip or whatever. So it's just like, it takes you out of the here and now, blasts you somewhere else. That's what I remember happening.
You don't know where you were?
And I didn't, but I came to, like, you're so focused on that one feeling or whatever, that you're, like, slowly coming to, you're like, oh, yeah, I'm sitting in his room. Okay, I'm on the bed. Okay. I'm back. And that was, like, super trippy or whatever. Okay. I was sitting on the bed, and Sean is, like, sitting by the door, and it's his turn, and he takes it in, and comes up, and he lights up. He lights up and looks at us like this. And I'm like, what? What is it? Like, he's got this look of exuberance, like, I can't even describe, like, I'm so excited. And I'm like, to the point, like, I know he just did drugs, but I'm like, but what's so great? And then you did this thing where because you were sitting on the ground and you backed up, like, scooted back to the wall and just, like, looked at us with this smile, and, like, it was in such a way that in that moment, I thought, Sean, I could see Sean as, like, a kindergartner, and he's just, like, so stoked about something, just like a natural exuberance.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if I said it out loud or what, but I was just like, what is it? Like, I wanted to know what was making you so excited. And I don't remember you, like, describing it. Like, you probably came down at that point.
Yeah.
And I don't remember. I don't remember after that. But it was it was funny.
I know. I really wish I actually remember that first experience. I do remember it being very positive, and I wasn't freaked out about it. And I think when I was looking at you guys, I didn't even see you guys there.
Oh, okay.
I think that's what the deal was. And I had this weird experience, like it almost felt like a dragon or something. Like it like completely mind-boggling, like experience, that first experience with it. And just completely trippy. And the way you describe it, I love the way you describe it, because I'm like, I wish I could just like
see it,
like completely rewind it and just kind of see the visuals that I was seeing at that point.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's just not coming to me. There was this one time though that I did do salvia, and I felt like I was like falling through a storybook. Like I felt like the pages, like I was falling through pages, and then I felt like I was in a completely different life. Like I was in a canoe, and I felt like I was with my brother and my father, and we were canoeing down a river. Like I literally felt like it took me to this place like none other. Not even like an ayahuasca experience or a shroom experience. Something completely different.
Do you mean like more of a legit hallucination of like...
I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. I almost feel like I don't know if I reconnected with like a past memory, or if it was if I just connected to like something else. I have no idea, or another version of me in a different Earth. I have no idea. It just felt so real. And it didn't last very long. Salvia does not last very long. It lasts maybe 5 minutes. And there's a lot of laughing and just all... you're trying to speak, but words are not actually coming out. Like, you want to describe what's going on, but you're like, yeah. That's pretty similar, right?
Oh, yeah, I know.
Is that pretty close?
Yeah.
Pretty accurate?
Yeah, I do. There was a time when I felt like you were trying to.
I was
say
trying to
something, but-
communicate what I was seeing, but it does not come out at that time frame. So you try to retain as much as possible when you're doing it. So I feel like, why not? I've got a little bit left. It's legal, so why not do it?
Well, I could.
And then
you can do
well,
it.
yeah.
I'll watch you again.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying Matt, you do it
I'll
too.
watch you do it too.
I'll just sprinkle it into the hookah.
Obviously had like these like really great experiences from
No,
it.
I've
I can
had
see why you
really
do.
great experiences with it. I haven't had a psychedelic, like a true psychedelic experience since 2014, since I was down in the Amazon, drinking the old ayahuasca, which I have been having.
Steep in the tea.
Yes. Sweet, disgusting ass tea. Since I've been there, and I've had the call. Like, I really want to go back there, but I think I just want to have a good experience with psychedelics, be it with mushrooms or not really salvia. Salvia is not really it. Either mushrooms or a nice DMT experience is really, I think, it would be a nice reset. I think I'm due. I'm definitely due. And I don't know.
DMT.
Yeah, I
That's
don't know
what made me think
Next
of.
on my list.
I was thinking about DMT when you were talking about it.
Yeah, it would be great.
Because I feel like
I gotta get
from
to
what I've
Burning
heard
Man.
about
I gotta get
DMT,
to
it's
Burning
like
Man, do some DMT, do him some Molly, do something. I just gotta get out and do something different.
You got a trip?
on a trap.
You got a trip?
I really want to go to Joshua Tree this fall. So.
I don't know. It's on my books. We just gotta do it.
Yeah.
I'm going in October for a photo shoot.
Oh, cool.
Are.
What kind
Really?
of photo shoot?
I'm teaming up with a local jewelry designer and a local lingerie designer.
Wow.
And we just got a videographer. We're doing it all just for creativity.
Yeah.
No money involved. Well, obviously to help our businesses and
Oh yeah.
get some cool images for promoting ourselves, and that's what I do. Is take
That's
photos,
huge.
So
That's a huge artistic collaboration, and you're going out to one of the most unique, serene landscapes that you could
we're
probably
getting
go
a
to.
couple models
Yep.
and a few models and a hair and makeup artist, and everybody's coming on board just
that's
to do
awesome.
it for the fun. And we're gonna.
How
go
are you guys
and
playing? Are you
shoot.
guys going to camp together? Like, what's
I don't
the
think
deal?
we're camping. I think we're just going to
Just
go
gonna
up
go.
in
One-
the
one
morning
and done?
and get the girls ready and shoot in a couple different locations for a few hours. And
You should
then
plan a trip and just, why not? You're out there.
maybe I might. Well, Natalie and I are going to Idlewild the next weekend.
Or are you
And
guys going to do
we're-
another shoot?
Yeah, we're doing a
Oh,
shoot.
that's awesome. Cool.
But we have some psychedelic plans in mind as well.
Nice.
So
Cool.
That's what I like to do.
You're staying up there? Or
Mhm.
Yeah.
we're staying in. We rented this Airbnb last year, the same weekend. I think I told you about this. Maybe it's not an Airstream, but it's like an Airstream. It's a trailer on a person's property up there, and the property is just magic. It's where we shot last time, and
Oh, nice.
we ate some mushrooms the last time we were up there. So
Cool. Should we go ahead and wrap this up and do some recommendations? I
Yes.
feel like this has pretty been
Definitely.
pretty solid.
Absolutely. This has been an amazing
Yeah.
podcast, and I'm so glad Sarah.
I am so glad you're
I'm
here.
so glad
This
we
is
got to hang
awesome.
out.
Hell yeah.
yeah.
This is great. Great
Yeah, we've had a
discussion.
it's been a crazy conversation, ups and downs, left and right.
Thanks for
Who knows where it's
In
going?
and
for
out.
journeying with us.
Yes. All right, Matt, you want to kick out the recommendations? You want me
Yes.
to? All right.
I got one.
Perfect.
My favorite band in the world,
Uh-huh.
Limbeck.
Well, there's so much smog in California these days. I spend so much time in traffic on the way to LA. There's nowhere for your car if you get there late, and it's so hard to register. Yeah, that's the way it is in my 91 hatchback. Every time I try, you know I fail the smart check. It always brings me down on the day when I get that letter from the state.
They are coming to San Diego next week. But in the meantime, they just got back together to release one song. It's called A Million Years.
Ooh, yeah.
And check it out at their Bandcamp. They are doing it as a favor to a personal friend of theirs who's having a hard time, so they're trying to raise money for him. So release this one song. You can buy it on Bandcamp. They're doing like a little vinyl release. I had to go listen to the song, and the song is fucking amazing, and it's great. And I had this thought of like, why isn't like this song on the radio almost? Because it's just a really cool song. It's called A Million Years. It's by the band Limbeck. Check out their whole catalog, but go check out this song. It's really rad. That's my recommendation.
Hell yeah. Alright, my recommendation is My Dinner with Andre.
That is. I mean, why is that? I mean, is it just because people are lazy today, or they're bored? I mean, are we just like bored, spoiled children who've just been lying in the bathtub all day, just playing with their plastic duck, and now they're just thinking, well, what can I do?
Okay, yes, we are bored. We're all bored now. But has it ever occurred to you, Wally, that the process that creates this boredom that we see in the world now may very well be a self-perpetuating, unconscious form of brainwashing created by a world totalitarian government based on money, and that all of this is much more dangerous than one thinks, and it's not just a question of individual survival, Wally, but that somebody who's bored is asleep, and somebody who's asleep will not say no? See, I keep meeting these people. I mean, just a few days ago, I met this man whom I greatly admire. He's a Swedish physicist, Gustav Bjornstrand, and he told me that he no longer watches television, he doesn't read newspapers, and he doesn't read magazines. He's completely cut them out of his life because he really does feel that we're living in some kind of Orwellian nightmare now, and that everything that you hear now contributes to turning you into a robot. And when I was at Findhorn, I met this extraordinary English tree expert who had devoted his life to saving trees. He just got back from Washington, lobbying to save the redwoods. He's 84 years old. He always travels with a backpack because he never knows where he's going to be tomorrow. And when I met him at Findhorn, he said to me, "Where are you from?" And I said, "New York." He said, "Ah, New York, yes, that's a very interesting place. Do you know a lot of New Yorkers who keep talking about the fact that they want to leave but never do?" And I said, "Oh, yes." And he said, "Why do you think they don't leave?" I gave him different banal theories. He said, "Oh, I don't think it's that way at all." He said, "I think that New York is the new model for the new concentration camp, where the camp has been built by the inmates themselves, and the inmates are the guards, and they have this pride in this thing they've built. They've built their own prison, and so they exist in a state of schizophrenia, where they are both guards and prisoners, and as a result, they no longer have, having been lobotomized, the capacity to leave the prison they've made, or to even see it as a prison." And then he went into his pocket and he took out a seed for a tree and he said, "This is a pine tree." He put it in my hand and he said, "Escape before it's too late." See, actually for 2 or 3 years now, Chiquita and I have had this very unpleasant feeling that we really should get out. That we really should feel like Jews in Germany in the late 30s. Get out of here. Of course, the problem is where to go, because it seems quite obvious that the whole world is going in the same direction. See, I think it's quite possible that the 1960s represented the last burst of the human being before he was extinguished, and that this is the beginning of the rest of the future now, and that from now on there'll simply be all these robots walking around, feeling nothing, thinking nothing, and there'll be nobody left almost to remind them that there once was a species called a human being, with feelings and thoughts, and that history and memory are right now being erased, and soon nobody will really remember that life existed on the planet.
Always meant to watch it.
It's such a crazy, bizarre movie. I liked a clip of A Dinner with Andre. Do you remember liking, or you commented on it? You're like, "What the fuck?" He was talking about.
Oh yeah, I saw you.
What?
I saw you
Describe
post
it.
It's just two guys. He's at dinner. This one guy, he's just...
It's the guy from Princess Bride.
Yes,
isn't it?
exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Inconceivable.
Yes, exactly. All right,
Yeah.
so My Dinner with Andre, it's basically this conversation between these two artistic, creative people, and the main dude, Andre, who's basically telling this epic story of his self-exploration, of him doing all these different travels and just basically trying to find himself, and he's got this crazy perspective on life, and it illustrates exactly what we're going through right now. And I think this movie came out in like 1981 or something crazy like that. And all the shit that he's talking about is so relevant and right in your face right now that this movie would blow your mind. And it's not the typical movie. It's just two guys at dinner. It's not an action movie. It's not some rom-com or whatever. It's just a movie about two people having a conversation. So if you're into podcasting or just listening to people have an interesting conversation, then this movie is right up your alley. And it's on YouTube for free right now. You don't even have to search it out.
Sweet.
Just YouTube My Dinner with Andre, and it's right there.
It.
Great.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely recommend anyone who's just interested in listening to good conversation. It's there. Check it out.
Cool.
Any recs, Sarah?
I'm going to recommend what I did earlier.
Yeah.
Requiem. I'm going to recommend Requiem for the American Dream. It's mind-opening, and it is probably one of the most relevant things you can watch right now if you give any shits about America or the state of the union.
I wrote it down. I'm going to watch it tonight.
That's great.
It's on Netflix. You might be able to find it otherwheres, but it's definitely on the Netflix, and it's called Requiem for the American Dream. And you gotta watch it. You gotta watch it. You just have to watch it.
And where can people find your photography if they want to hire you, or you just want to have people check out your work?
www.theempress.
That's World Wide Web.
Wine, weed, and women. Dot.
That's it. That's it.
Dot. The Empress SD. That's 3 S's at the end. .com. And I'm also on Instagram at @theempress_SD. And that's where you can find me.
I highly recommend Instagram. She's posting constantly every single day, just from all her different shoots. It's really great. I really love following all these different shoots you're doing. I'm
It's
like,
really cool.
What? She's doing that? That's cool. I really like watching
It's
it.
gotten to the point, too, where I see the picture, and then I have to go back, and then I was like, holy shit, this is what Sarah's posting.
Really?
Yeah, it's good
I'm like,
shit.
whoa, what is it? What am I following? And then I'm like, this is like, I've definitely seen, like, even an evolution in, like, the short time I've done it, too.
Thank you.
It's awesome.
Thank you. Yeah.
It's really cool.
People are saying that, and it's making me feel really, really good, because I feel the same way about my work, obviously.
Oh, it's coming through, though.
Oh, yeah.
It's
your
cool.
artistic eye, your vision, your perspective is definitely coming through. And
Thank you, guys.
It's
Thank
awesome,
you.
awesome.
Thanks.
You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, all that good stuff at Sean Evans Photo. That's SeanEvansph.
OTO.
Thank you, Matt. And that's Pac-Man. Unky Matt. Unky Matt.
Just tweet at me at PacMatt. PACMATT. Give us a beer recommendation.
Ooh.
One day it's going to happen.
Yeah, one day. Oh, we had some delicious watermelon Dorado and some Lebanese I ate tonight. So thank you. And some marijuana.
Subscribe to us on iTunes.
No, just me.
What? Sean?
Smoking marijuana.
Oh.
I can do it. I can do it.
Subscribe.
Yeah, just for me.
Yeah, add us, subscribe to us.
Oh, yes.
On iTunes.
Yes,
and
please.
Podcast Republic and Stitcher. Wherever you get your podcasts, that's where we are. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye.
Thanks, Sarah.
Bye.
How many people rise and say, my brain's so awfully glad to be here for yet another mindless day. Now I've got all morning to obsessively accrue a small nation of meaningful objects, and they've gotta represent me too. And by this afternoon I'll live in debt, and by tomorrow be replaced by children. How many people rise and think, oh good, the stranger's body's still here. Our arrangement hasn't changed. I've got a lifetime to consider all the ways I've grown more disappointing to you as my beauty warps and fades. I suspect you feel the same. When I was young, I dreamt of a passionate obligation to a roommate. Is this the part where I get all I ever wanted? Who said that? Can I get my money back? Bored in the USA. Oh, just a little bored in the USA. Save me, white Jesus. Bored in the USA. Oh, they gave me a useless education and a subprime loan on a craftsman home. Keep my prescriptions filled, and now I can't get off, but I can kind of deal with being bored in the USA. Oh, just a little bored in the USA. Save me, President Jesus, I'm bored in the USA. Oh,